Hey gang, it's your boy Pinky. Welcome back to Bonsai and to episode 2 of the Large Marge Project. When we left off in episode 1, we had gotten this thing, we managed to drag it into the backyard. Now it's time to pull it apart. So we called the boys together. We have our man AJ, there's Hondo, of course Andy Bobandy, and yours truly, your boy. Job 1 was to get this big old pump out of the way. Loaded up on the trailer to go to the scrapyard. We were hoping this stuff would be bronze, but sadly just cast iron. With the pump out of the way, it was time to get to work on the enormous water tank that really takes up most of the back of the truck. Undo a few bolts, cut a few pipes. Before you know it, that thing is on the ground and ready to go to the scrapyard as well. With the tank and pump out of the way, the only job left was to cut off the rear overhang and remove the toolboxes. Before long, she was naked as a jaybird. Now at this point, I suppose we could have just thrown a flatbed on the truck and called it a day, but our vision for the thing is a little bit different than that. It requires us to move the rear axle forward about 4 feet. Now moving that axle forward required drilling out about 50 of these giant half-inch rivets that hold the spring perches to the frame rails, and then drilling about 50 new holes to put the spring perches on. So the only tool for the job was this one. Now, you might think I'm talking about Hondo here, and in a sense, you'd be right. I mean, he certainly is handy for the job, but what I'm talking about is this electromagnetic drill press, which, frankly, is the greatest invention ever. Just line it up, hit the switch for the electromagnet, hold it in place, and drill away. So about 1 million holes later, the leaf springs were up in their new position and ready for the axle, but we had one more thing we had to do before we could roll it up into position. Because fire trucks are designed to carry, like 10,000 pounds of water and 20,000 pounds of fire truck around town, they're geared for that job, and ours had a 7.17 to 1 ring and pinion gear ratio. That resulted in a top speed of about 50 miles an hour. Now, that is no bueno for us. We had to change the rear ring and pinion from a 7.17 to a 4.63, which will get us a good, highway cruising speed, still be able to pull quite a bit of weight. With the gearing straightened out, it was time to put the differential back in the housing and get the truck back up on its axles again. And then it was time to reinstall the axles. And then it was it, the moment of truth. Time to put the axle back up under the truck, step back, take a look at Large Marge's new wheelbase. Looking very sporty indeed. So thanks for watching, and thanks really for the interest in this project. In our next episode, we'll be putting the rear body back on, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and you can follow along with the fun. Thanks again, guys.